Hey guys, what's going on? Blaine back for another Netflix review, and today I'm going to be talking about Lolo and the Kid. Lolo and the Kid is a Filipino drama that tells the story of the titular character Lolo and his adopted son Kid. The pair live homeless on the streets together, and use their circumstances to trick wealthy people into adopting Kid into their household so that they can steal and sell their possessions. While the two enjoy living their carefree lifestyles, things change when Lolo has a conversation with a woman that the two plan to steal from. Lolo slowly realizes the opportunity Kid has to change his life for the better through a good education, and he has to decide if this opportunity is worth surrendering him to another family and possibly separating the two forever. This movie's premise is the classic definition of a tearjerker, and it does well at being just that. Though the story can be slow at times, and it has some mixed messages regarding its themes early into the movie, the dynamic of the lead characters makes it more compelling, along with its advocacy for education and structured use of drama to hook the audience. The main character Lolo is an excellent protagonist to follow along with because of his strong moral disposition. Even though he steals from people to fulfill his lifestyle, he still has a code of ethics that he applies himself to, which he encourages Kid to stick to as well. He never comes across as a thug or any other sort of stereotype that might associate him with homeless people. He's simply trying to do the best he can so that he and Kid can survive in what he sees as a dog-eat-dog world. He slowly realizes how naive he is as events unfold, and this made me more invested to see what kind of choice he would make to benefit Kid. Speaking of him, the other main character, Kid, is also an enjoyable character, if not quite at the same caliber as Lolo. Due to him being a child, he's much less mature and thus more mischievous in comparison, which sees him getting into a bit more trouble, but his innocence still shines through. His lack of social skills and inability to read make him more sympathetic in spite of the attitude he directs toward others. It's easy to see that deep down he wants to change certain things about him, but he doesn't want to disappoint Lolo and lose the only life he's ever known. His story turns into a sort of gloomy balancing game where no outcome is completely ideal, so I felt more attached to him as the story progressed. The relationship between these two characters is what makes the story so captivating. They have the same kind of close bond one would expect to see between a father and his son, and their different personalities make them even more enjoyable in this regard. It's always fun to see Lolo try to teach Kid good manners while pointing out hypocrisies behind Lolo's actions. Even though they clash with each other, the two always have each other's backs and are rarely separated from each other, which makes things more heartbreaking as Lolo's views on Kid's outlook starts to change. The story of their high-class con-man lifestyle eventually catches up to them as the consequences of their actions mount up over time. Lolo becomes affected by one particular encounter with a person that makes him question everything he's done with and for Kid, and this causes him to lose focus in his criminal acts and even daily activities. He starts by carrying out his activities as normal, and then is hit with the encounter dropping a truth bomb on him while still carrying out his act. From there, everything builds as Lolo can't stop thinking about what to do with Kid. It's fascinating to see the seed of doubt grow inside Lolo's mind, and his actor does a fantastic job of conveying the complex emotions that come with this scenario. It's a realistic way of showing how one person's actions can completely change someone over time. Lolo understands that he won't be around forever, and he can't keep sustaining Kid in dirty motel rooms and fast food all the time, but he has a hard time coming to terms with it all. And I appreciate how the drama was structured in this way, as it makes the character development more realistic and easier to follow. At the same time, I did take issue with how parts of the story was presented. The story's paced pretty slowly, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, as this gives more time to show the two doing things together and give a proper sense of the kind of family dynamic they have, but with how repetitive the instances of home theft are, it does hamper the dramatic elements a bit more. I also couldn't help but feel that the movie encourages bad behavior with the amount of scamming and stealing that the two are involved in. I know it isn't actually doing this, as it's trying to show the desperation these two live on a daily basis, but I was surprised at how much this aspect took precedence over the other themes that are presented. There are many themes I appreciated in this movie, the biggest one being how it emphasizes the importance of education in order to break the cycle of crime and poverty. As someone with a teaching background, I am glad this subject was covered, not only because it ties in well with Kid's character development regarding the growing insecurity he has, but also that education really is the best chance in turning one's life around. Aside from this, it also explores the harsh reality of homelessness in the Philippines, but also humanizes it from the perspectives of Lolo and Kid. It doesn't shy away from the depressing situations surrounding it, but also doesn't leave things completely dire, and it still allows the pair to enjoy life in spite of what the two don't have, which again makes it realistic and even optimistic. The two get to enjoy a variety of activities together in a variety of settings. They go to a theme park, sing karaoke together, and even go on a trip to the beach, all of which is paid for from the money earned from selling stolen goods. I liked how the movie used this element to highlight the relationship of the two characters, while also reinforcing the weight of the actions they undertake in order to do things that most people take for granted. This is further supported by the overall tone of the movie, especially with regards to the music. The slow pacing of the movie is suited well at times thanks to this, as it adds to the carefree lifestyle the two live at first, while also being tinged with a degree of sadness as Lolo and Kid's lives face unavoidable change. This all leads to an emotional crescendo, as the final act will no doubt leave anyone watching it feeling devastated. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I love how it demonstrates that the toughest choices are often the right and most important ones to make, and at the end of the day, your family, whoever you decide it may be, will always be there for you. Overall, Lolo and the Kid is a simultaneously heartwarming and tear-jerking drama that makes it easy to become attached to its characters by shining light on important social issues. If you like tear-jerking dramas and want to see one that explores social issues in a humanizing way, you should definitely check this one out. While I think parts of its story could have been handled differently, it's hard to deny how emotionally effective the movie is as a whole. The character development, social themes, and structure of its plot make it a gripping and moving experience that's more than worth watching. What did you think about this movie? Did you like how it explored social issues in conjunction with its plot, or did you find it too slow-paced and repetitive? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways guys, that's going to wrap up my review of Lolo and the Kid. Thanks for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it, and as always stay tuned for the next part, where next time I review the Korean action comedy Mission Cross. Bye bye!